Hello again. I'm trying to sort out this wiring. The second switch I'm a bit concerned about because I don't know what it does, and I can't see why someone put a switch in and I can't see where it goes to. So it's a bit of a nightmare in here. This is the switch here. That was just dangling under the dash when I got the car. But we've been through a few different owners since it was built. So where I've got the wires going to the switch is, this is the main light relay, and it's got one of these Scotch lock things going to the switch, and then it returns and goes to the spotlight relay. So the only thing I can think of is it's to bypass the other switch, so you can have the spotlights on without full beam on. But I've tried all different sort of combinations to get it to work. Because as soon as it energises the relay, you'll hear it click, like it does when you. Yeah. That's the relay clicking on and off when the spotlights are going on and off. But when you flip the switch, nothing. Unless it needs the ignition on and the lights on, as it's coming from the main feed from the main lights. It's not the main feed. I don't know what feed it is. I don't understand it. I don't just leave a switch in there not doing anything. It seems a bit pointless. Trouble is, once the wires go past about there, you've got no chance of finding out where they go. It's yeah, that's hard work in there. Right, I've got to get the main feed anyway. John's coming tomorrow to sort the alternator out, so I might as well get the main feed ready to go, do the donkey work, and he can have a talk over what he's doing and why he's doing it and what it does. Because I understand the basics of electrics, but nothing more than that. Right, we've got the cable going to the alternator. This is the two cables that we're running, which I'm swapping with this big one. But the what I did find was that there was they both went into the same, I can't find it now. It's like that, crimped end, but it had been soldered. So the solder had gone brittle. It made the cable go brittle, and they'd snapped. So that just about was holding on, and this just fell out. So that was could have been a nasty one waiting to happen. So that's another good thing. But the bad thing is, I don't know if, like, the starter motor cables like that, the ones to the battery. So it's oh, here it is. So that just sort of, one fell off, and that just, you can see it's got solder at the end. And I know they used to solder joint these on aeroplanes, but apparently if the solder went past the crimp, the people would get sacked, because that's when the cables snap. You don't want solder on a cable. It's all right to solder the ends, but you don't need a little bit of solder on them. Anyway, so I'm just feeding these back into the car, and then I'm going to feed this big cable through and get it ready. John's coming down, he's going to sort the crimps out. He was on about the earth cable I put in. He doesn't reckon it's big enough, so we're going to swap that. There'll probably be enough of that left as well. And there is an earth cable going from the block, which seems quite a decent size, so we'll see what John thinks about that. Right, getting these cables out. Right, this is the one that was going to the alternator that I've just pulled out. I'm just going to have a look under here and see what's going on. See if that's the same as the other end. Yeah, you can see they're soldered in. So this one then was all right, because it's It's not moving. I suppose it's still vibrating a bit, but I reckon if I started bending that, it's probably going to snap. So yeah, I think it's a good idea to change it anyway. Right, that's the new cable going in. So that is a lot beefier than both of those put together. And apparently 2 wires together isn't as good as a wire double the size. So I've cut one of the cables and left them dangling so I can tape it to that and pull it back through the dash. Because don't want to get stuck in the wiring in there. Right, let's feed this back through, and I'll leave the made end where it connects onto the feed from the battery, because it was going, there's lots of different connectors under there, and it was going, I don't know if we can see it, this big cable here, which I think is more than adequate for the battery, goes to this terminal here, and then it's got a small cable that feeds another terminal that went to the alternator. So really this has got the power feed from the battery, and then it goes off to the alternator, starter motor. So I think we're better off going there, so it's got a direct feed back to the battery rather than going through a smaller cable to another post. So we'll do that. Right, so the main battery feed comes up into this post. Then we've got another one that comes off there and goes to the starter. And then I've just put this one in for the alternator, but that braided hose is so close. So what I'm going to do is stick with a glue gun, I'll stick that on. And then I've got a bit of plastic here, which I'm going to stick over it as well. And I'm going to cable tie this braided hose away from the, in between the connectors, so it shouldn't be able to move. Fingers crossed that braided hose, if that touches the, I mean I've heat shrinked down the, here, so there's no bare metal showing, but still, you know, it wouldn't take long to rub through. Right, that's the red cap glued on, and then I've put a bit of green plastic just to doubly protect it, and the braided hose is cable tied to the plastic sheathing over the connector, so it shouldn't be able to get close to that anyway. Right, so that's fed through the dash. I've just got it coming out down past the driver's door, so I'll move over that side. I think I'll put the dash back in. I can put the other dash back in, and then feed it through to the bonnet, the engine bay. Right, that's the dash back in. All the cabling is cable tied inside there now. I haven't put the thicker cable in the sheathing because it probably wouldn't fit, and there was no need really. So I've left it coiled up long. This now has got enough length not to have all these joints on it for the exciter wire, so that can get connected. Yeah, I don't want to do any more because obviously it's nice to have a bit of space to get the crimp on it. So I think John's coming tomorrow. I think what we're doing, well, what John's doing is going to put a crimp on the end of the main power feed to the alternator, and then replace my earth feed, my earth lead, with what's left of that. And then hopefully we can get it started and check it's all running okay. Right, typically, just when you need the garage door to work, the cable snapped. The cable that runs from the spring to support the door, it hooks in there. So I had to order new cables. There's a spare one there. Funny enough, I think it was that side that snapped before, so I've dated it, put a new cable on. It wasn't too bad actually. It's not my favourite job, but this one seemed to go all right. Yeah, so it works really well now. Much better than it did before, which is nice. Every cloud.